If South Africa is to chart a course in these perilous waters, it is obvious that we cannot sit back and allow the ANC to drive our foreign policy in its own party interests. The stakes, simply put, are far too high. That is why the DA sent its own delegation to Washington recently, where we had meetings at a very senior level to ensure that we keep the channels of communication open and provide an alternative perspective to that beamed to the world from Luthuli House. We have to, because the ANC is absolutely determined to keep us out of foreign policy, which we believe will have profoundly negative consequences for South Africa, as it already has. And this won't be the last of the international delegations we will be undertaking to fight South Africa's corner, while the ANC promotes its party interests over South Africa's. But back home, we have had a paradigm shift of our own, and of course that is the GNU. The 2024 election was emblematic of the trend that...
Hello, welcome to my channel, Current Affairs with Mboni. I am just a patriot who is very much concerned about the welfare of my country. And there's absolutely no dull moment in South Africa. We hardly catch a break every day. Take today, for example, waking up to sickening news of the Democratic Alliance Helen Zille talking about the DA's right to interfere in our country's foreign policy. Helen made the controversial remarks about our foreign policies at Biz News conference this week. Biz News is just another one of South Africa's right-wing platforms. Yeah, it's South Africa's very own Fox News. This is where the likes of the DA like to go and spew their propaganda. Yeah, it's a fitting little cave to make such terrible statements about our country for the DA. Gogo Helen Zille, the DA's supreme leader of leaders, believes we're on a collision course, which as the DA, she says they feel obligated to interrupt. What is this collision course that Gogo Helen is talking about? What is she referring to? She's referring to our international relations positions on various issues. Because she spoke about, here at this conference, she spoke about China. Well, she doesn't like China. We know that the DA is not really friendly to China. They're communists to them. Which they are. Then there's the USA, our position on that, our positions, our Land Expropriation Act, which the USA does not like, which also incidentally even the DA does not like. Palestine, we know where they stand. They stand with Israel, and South Africa does not. Iran, we know it goes on and on. But basically, the DA has a serious problem with the ANC driving our foreign policy, which they claim that the ANC does this looking at their own interests. This is really strange because they're behaving as if only the DA are allowed to have their own interests and positions, as if their positions are the greatest ones. And mind you, these people are talking to a white constituency, the former oppressor, so they're the ones who are still oppressing. But here they are. Here she is. She's talking for them. This is them talking. And this is Helen speaking on their behalf. And on the video, if you were listening intently at her address, you probably heard her claiming that this is why the DA sent their own delegation to Washington. Yes, I did a video on this very thing. I'll just put it on the link of this very video. But they are coming from Washington, the DA. When they went there, they didn't tell us. I just remember them telling us that, we are also from there, to clarify matters of AfriForum, of which they were just being dishonest, because when it comes to land expropriation, which is the thing that has made AfriForum run to Donald Trump, they also are against land expropriation. They're literally on the same page, standing on... the DA really just make me tired. do not like the DA, my gosh. So anyway, she says that they sent their own delegation, which we now know that they have done that. We are very clear about that. But the interesting part is, who are you meeting? Who are these people meeting? Because even the last time when they came back from Washington, I did wonder, who are you meeting? Who are these people? Who are these people that you are meeting? But anyway, she claims that they were there in Washington where they held meetings at a very senior level. You had that very senior level to ensure that communication channels are open. So it's up to them to make sure that communication lines between this country and the US or anywhere else they deem fit, those communications channels, they will make sure that they are open. It seems like because this is the reason they're explaining why they were in the US, to ensure that communication channels are open and to provide an alternative perspective from that one of the ANC, because the ANC are lost according to this one. So wherever the ANC go, they must go there and clarify. Oh, wow. Yeah. But I just think this is so unhinged too. I don't know, man. I feel somehow about this statement. This statement is very problematic and deeply so. I don't even know where to start. It really makes me very angry. But the bottom line is that the government position on this has not changed. Government position on this, the shenanigans by the DA when they went to Washington the first time. Government had a position. Yes, they made their feelings known, and it was. I remember watching Crispin. Crispin came and talked about government position on this. Here's Crispin.
What is the minister's reaction tonight on the return of the Democratic Alliance on what they say was a working visit to Washington?
And the minister has been quite clear that, look, there's only one person who can represent the government in international relations, or rather two people. It's the president and the minister himself. So they do not represent the people of South Africa, neither do they represent the government of South Africa. They went there on their own frolic, and that's that. And whatever they have achieved cannot be claimed to be on behalf of the Republic. You would recall, Chloe, that the minister himself has been to Washington. A number of other delegations sent by the authority of the president have been to Washington previously to engage on various aspects with various interlocutors on South Africa's foreign policy and also on South Africa's trade policy. So this idea that we now have a government of national unity, therefore even political parties can represent the government, I think is a misnomer. The DA is a non-state actor, and their actions should not be construed as that of the Republic.
Indeed, nothing has changed with the position of government, especially regarding the shenanigans of the DA. And that position is that only the president or the Minister of International Relations, Mr. Ronald Lamola, represents the country when it comes to matters relating to our foreign policy. This means that whatever the DA had gone to do in Washington, they were doing it for themselves and not doing it on behalf of the government or the people of South Africa, because according to Crispin Peary, you heard him yourself, the DA are a non-state actor. This is according to Crispin Peary. They are not, but they don't have any manners, as we can clearly see. No manners whatsoever. They never ever had manners anyway. We're not even entirely shocked. We're just disgusted. Well, I am. This is embarrassing. But it is very clear to me that at this point, this thing that they call the government of national unity is pulling in opposite directions. What? Another GNU member is over there doing this, another GNU over there. Sure. Ever since the GNU came into existence last year after the elections, where nobody really won the elections, people had to, come together. The DA has been having some very strange behaviors. And while I'm on this topic of very strange behavior, watch how they will show the ANC flames on the budget issue. But that's another video loading. But the DA forgets themselves that they're just a party of white people and confused blacks. And those black people, many of them are waking up, by the way, with each election. So the DA does not cannot really stand there and boldly say they speak for all South Africans or the majority of them. They do not. And they've been deemed a non-state actor. So they have no business going to the US to open their mouths and say anything about anything, really. I mean, I know the DA, the DA. And unfortunately, I don't even see anyone or anything being able to put them in their place currently. Looks like we will just cry. The DA's posture, my gosh, if it were food, we would say, it looks revolting. Nobody wants to eat it. Yeah, I think I'll say that. I mean, we have a whole ministry with warm bodies there. But the DA wants to push its own foreign policies, regardless. What is this? I mean, Helen never minced her words when she said that the DA went to America to contradict our position and promote theirs. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this GNU? Who does this? Who says this? We have our own positions already, my gosh. I can't believe we're at this level. And mind you, the very DA, these are the very same people whose policies obviously contradict many of our own. They're in opposition for a reason. The Land Expropriation Act is one of those policy positions where obviously they are against. They're literally taking government to court. They have a case against government on the Land Expropriation Act. But they're going to America. Helen claims that the DA is no longer relying on DECO. Yeah, we hear that. She says they're no longer relying on DECO for foreign policy articulation. Okay, that's well and good. They have their own DECO as the DA, since the ANC has allegedly kept them out as they're prioritizing their own foreign policies. And the DA forgets that those are government policies being implemented. When at that level, they're not ANC policies per se, even though they are coming from them, since they were the governing party. They are policies of government. So the DA says the USA is not the last country they shall be visiting to clarify policy positions. Just wow. Wow. With that being said, thank you very much for tuning in. Please comment down below if you also agree with me that the DA is interfering in government foreign policies and it's none of their business. They need to stay in their lane. If you've come this far, please don't leave without liking and subscribing to my channel. It means a whole lot to me, more than you know. Thank you so much and see you on the next one. Bye.